You're listening to the REITE Club podcast, where the focus is all about helping you grow your real estate investment portfolio and live the life you want to live. Come grow with us and join our community at thereiteclub.com. And now your hosts, Sarah Larby and Alfonso Salemi.
And so, and I've always wanted to use real estate as a vehicle to my passion. So getting to that passive income quicker is more important to me. And so that's why I pivoted from that. So I think it's really important to understand what it is you want to get out of the investing that you're doing. If it's passive income, if it's active income, if you need money for now, disposable income, I call it. And then it's easier to identify kind of what strategy you want to go in.
All right, awesome. Thanks for that. That was great. And now you're also doing all of this and building your real estate business at the same time as raising 3 kids. How has that been for you?
Well, I'm very parent with the father of my children. I started doing this while we were together, and then a separation ensued. And he's been truly supportive. And so in that sense, like if I need to have time off to do an event, like, for example, speaking at the REITE Club, obviously I can't have my children in that evening. At the time when I first separated with my ex, my kids were 6, 8, and 10. And so obviously I couldn't leave them at home. Now they're teenagers, it's a little bit different. So it's a lot easier. The challenges are different. But it's definitely easier logistically as far as babysitting and stuff like that. So, but I was truly fortunate because, my ex has really been supportive. So if I needed to go away for a conference or I need a day that's my day, for example, he's just really great about, yeah, it's fine, the kids can stay with me. So I think there's a difference between being a single parent and co-parenting. I really tip my hat off. I know there are single mothers out there that try to do this, but ultimately what it boils down to is really having a good support network or support system that you can lean on and truly being organized. And I think as women, that's probably the best quality that we have, is to be organized and be able to manage multiple things. So, doing, I know it sounds, people don't see this in me, but yes, I do laundry and I cook and I clean and we all do that, but my public face doesn't show that. And so in the background, I am managing all that as well. So I think, it's been really easy. We share the kids 50-50. So on the times that I don't have the kids, I really catch up with that domestic stuff. And so that way I just focus on being with them when I do have them. But ultimately, it has its challenges, but you just have to lean on the support network you have and be organized and think ahead for sure.
Awesome. So, I'm a big believer in delegating, and it sounds like you've got a lot of stuff on your hands as well. What are your thoughts about delegating, and are there certain things that you're delegating so you can focus more on taking care of your family and working on the real estate? Are there parts of it that you say, I'm going to hire this part out, and it's going to work out better that way?
Yes, definitely. First and foremost, the easiest thing you can delegate and should delegate is cleaning your house. So I do have a cleaner that comes in and cleans my house. Now, my cleaner comes in, there's 3 main things. Like there's a difference between cleaning and organizing. So I do keep my house neat and tidy and organized, but she comes in, she does the floors, the toilets, and the dusting. Those are the things that really drive me crazy. And they come in once a week and, they bang it out in 2 hours. But, for them, there's 3 girls in 2 hours, at 6 hours to clean my house. I've just gained myself 6 hours to spend with my kids and work.
Sorry, Danielle, that whole last sentence, if you could repeat that, it just cut off for some reason.
I don't know what the last sentence was. Okay, so I'll just pick up where I was. So ultimately, it saves me 6 hours of time. They come in and there's 3 girls, they spend 2 hours, and that saves me 6 hours of time where I can delegate that time or reallocate that time rather to my kids and my work. 6 hours a week, that's 24 hours in a month. Like that's pretty significant. And so I can get a lot of time done or spend some quality time with my kids, not to mention the energy that you save as well. So, you know, I can use some of that time to rest and hang out with I mean, we have movie time and stuff like that. So, you know, it affords me to be able to do that. And that's probably the first thing. Well, it is the first thing that I delegated, but then grocery shopping is another big one. So I do my groceries online, did this ever since I had my first, like when my kids were babies. And that's because, I mean, it would save me about 3 hours a week, grocery shopping, because just the time it takes to load up the kids, go to the grocery store, unload the kids, get into the grocery store, you spend an hour and a quarter, and then you got another, you know, 15, 20 minutes at the checkout, another 15 minutes loading up the car. Like, it legitimately would save me 3 hours. So I could do my groceries online within 15 minutes. And funny enough, when you start doing that, you realize about 95% of what you buy at the grocery store is the same every week. And so once you have like those items in your cart online, like in your favorites, it's just a click, 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 and I can have my groceries done in 10, 15 minutes. So, so yeah, that's another thing that I delegate. I know some people delegate cooking, and that's a huge thing. Something that I've entertained. I haven't pulled the trigger on that yet, but even just meal prep, because I mean, cooking a meal takes an hour, you know, 45 minutes to cook a meal between the prep and the cooking time. And then, you know, 15 minutes to eat it with your family and another 15, 20 minutes to clean up. So if you can save that 45 minutes to an hour on the front end with the prepping, I think that's huge. And if it's done efficiently, I have looked into it. It's actually, it makes sense financially as well.
Those are great tips. I love it. Spending more time, being able to organize yourself so that you can spend more time with your family, and in essence, making more memories. And not only that, but it's recharging your batteries so that you can be better for not only your family, but for your job, for the people that you work with, and so on and so forth. And I know that you're also, you know, you're a general contractor. There's not very many women that are in that particular field with real estate investing. So I don't want to go too far away from where this is, but just, I know that you've likely got a couple of other tips and tricks, like, you know, within a couple of minutes, just kind of fast. What are your other tips and tricks for those that are managing their families at the same time as their REI business? And then I'd like to hear a little bit about your general contracting and how you're finding that being a female in a normally all male dominated field.
Well, as far as the first part of your question, you know, managing the family with my business, the big part that was helpful for me was actually kind of training the kids and asking the kids to understand that I'm working. And so I do a lot of real estate investors do this. I mean, I'm sure both of you can attest to this. Like, my truck is my mobile office, meaning I do a lot of phone calls in the truck. So if I'm in the office and I've got some admin work to do, and I know I'm going to go out into the field, I don't make my phone calls in the office until I hit the road. Once I hit the road, I make all my phone calls. It's just a good use of my time. I do have, I mean, I'm known, everybody knows, like, I've got my earpiece in now. Like, I always have my earpiece in. I just talk to myself. I walk around in public talking to myself all day long. People are like answering me and stuff. It's actually quite funny, but because with my long hair, you don't see the earpieces in. So I just look like I'm talking to myself. But that's essentially what I do, is make my phone calls in the office, in the truck, my mobile office. And I've trained the kids. So, you know, when I'm picking them up and dropping them off and stuff like that. So if I get a phone call or have to make a phone call, the kids know. And ever since they were young, mommy has to make a phone call. I need you to be quiet. And they've been always really good about that. And when they were younger, it was more of a challenge. So I would just say to the person, oh, can you just hold on for a quick second? I got a quick call coming in. I'll be right back. And then I would just mute them, and I would look at the kids. And I think just by the look, they knew. I'm like, guys, like, mommy needs to look professional. This isn't working, you know. And then they would like zip it up right away. And then I'd come back. I'm like, thanks for holding. And then, so, you know, and I continue with my call, and nobody really knew any different. So you just kind of, you know, have to be creative. Don't be shy to ask for help. And I do, like I said, with my ex, I would ask help, but I also ask for help with my kids. And so I would say, you know, guys, I need your help. I need you guys to help mommy look professional. And so you have to kind of come down to their level of understanding and speak their language so that they're able to understand exactly why you're asking what you need, and that helps. So yeah, and they've been fantastic. So, you know, just training them on what I needed. I would take them to the job site so they understand what I do, and I would discuss with them. You know, those are just all key things as far as managing the family. As far as managing the contractors, well, let's see, where do we start? I mean, Catherine, you just opened up a big can of worms there. I'll tell you what, being the mother of three kids, yeah, that gave me a lot of experience on how to manage the contractors. You know, it's a lot of fun.
Thanks for listening to the REITE Club podcast and joining our community of real estate investors online at thereiteclub.com, where the focus is about helping you grow. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks from your hosts, Sarah Larby and Alfonso Salemi.